Welcome to Northwest Digital News. I'm Kevin Hunter with Chris Bornstead and Kyle Torgerson here on the broadcast. And Kyle, you're going to hit us up with a fantastic weather report, are you? Kick us off with some good information, good news.
I guess.
Good weather report.
Here it is. The weather today is going to be a high of 73, low 44. I'm dressed in my Nike duds because I'm going to be playing some tennis after this.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Not so excited for the rest of the week, though. There will be scattered showers, but it will average around the 60s. Hopefully the sun will come back and be in the 70s. But today, well, this week, it's going to be an average of 60. So, clouds
there you go.
and rain.
You
and
guys.
Yeah.
At least we don't have any of that Castle Rock snow at the moment.
Yeah, I heard Castle Rock got a lot of snow when it snowed.
But there might be some snowflakes in Castle Rock because we're hearing that there's actually some SWAT people on the ground over there, and Chris has been watching this morning. So
I had to turn
a quick little update on what was going on before we get into our keto stuff.
You know, all I can say is that it looks like there is an active situation in Castle Rock. They have downtown road barricaded off on both sides. So if you're going to go through Castle Rock, right now is not the time. Just kind of hang out. It's not resolved yet. I'm was monitoring a live stream, and it looks like they're dealing with the situation. Looks like you have some SWAT vehicles up there and a whole bunch of police officers and even a helicopter. So I mean, we got it going on. This is really kind of odd for you guys because you guys may not know this, but I live stream a SWAT event that I saw on 3rd Avenue last week. So this is 2 weeks in a row where we've had somebody barricade themselves in a house in our community, which is kind of just crazy. That's what it sounds like is going on in Castle Rock, is they have somebody in a house, they're trying to get them out, and you know that's all we know at this time. There's not enough information to say exactly what happened, but just that it's an active situation. The grade schools and I believe the elementary schools are on lockdown. So, you know, just kind of be aware of that's going on, you guys, and try to, if you're going to Castle Rock, you know, wait till later.
Wait till later. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to talk about some keto stuff today, you guys. Keto breakfast without eggs, for those of you that saw that. And we just shut off some power over here. That was kind of nice.
We have so much technology running at the same time. I feel bad for the breaker.
Yeah. Anyway,
TV just went off.
Voila.
Oh.
You probably don't want to do that, Kyle. You might just create a problem. We got some appliances here running off to the side. If you can see over here, we got a coffee maker brewing coffee. A few too many things on the same circuit. Let's just put it that way. And so anyway, we're going to share with you guys how to have a keto breakfast without eggs. There's actually, there's a host of different ways that you can do this. But we're going to share with you one of the ways. So one of the things that we're going to start with here today, and as you can tell from the sound of the brewer, let's get it nice and close over here.
And we say brewer. We are
the coffee brewer. Yeah, we're not brewing beer. We're brewing some nice, hot, fresh coffee. So what's one of the things? And there's the alarm telling us that it's done. So here's a couple of ingredients you're going to want to add into your bulletproof coffee. Now you can there's actually a number of different recipes out there. All of them will work as long as they follow a couple basic principles. There's going to be a tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil that's going to go into this. And then we have some Kerrygold grass-fed butter. Now, one of the reasons why, so there's going to be a tablespoon of this and a tablespoon of this is going into our coffee that we're going to enjoy. Now, I got the blender sitting off the table because it makes a little bit of noise, and we kind of don't want to blow your ears out with blender noise. So anyway, we're going to pour 4 cups of coffee in with this tablespoon of butter and tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil. Do not get the refined coconut oil, you guys. You might as well use it for lubing a axle or something out in the backyard, but don't be eating that stuff.
Can you use it on, say, like maybe an AR-15?
Maybe if you wanted to, sure.
And then you would smell like coconut while you're out shitting on the range.
Yes, you would.
Yes, and by the way, he's going to hit start on this blender, and if everything goes black, That means that we popped a circuit and we'll be right back.
Oh, the best part is I can't. Okay.
we already lost the TV.
Oh, man.
Oh, live TV. You guys gotta love it.
Oh, no.
Everybody plug your ears, because I'm sure that sounded great.
There you go. So that quickly, we have ourselves some blender bulletproof coffee. All right, guys, pass those mugs on down this way. Doesn't this stuff look great?
I'm in some serious trouble because I've been doing the keto coffees that we have here. And so before Kevin came here, I made myself a nice keto coffee, right? And so I have my keto coffee here, and now he's going to hand me bulletproof coffee. You guys
This has all the fats you need in it.
What the trip is on the way home is going to be like is going to be just
He's going to get pulled over by a cop for doing 90 miles an hour over the bridge into Kelso.
He's going to be like, are you on drugs? No.
Have you been drinking? Yeah, I have, actually.
Anyway, I have made bulletproof coffee at home. I don't know if it's this flavor that I've made before.
Kyle.
Wait, no, he has a cup.
Yeah.
Well, how do you end up with a cup? Oh, that one's mine. All right.
Oh,
We're
man.
good. All right. So you beat me to it.
nope.
Pass it on down.
I have the left-handed one. Here, Chris. We need some music to pass around.
Yeah, the left-handed cup is mine.
Love the bulletproof coffee, guys. Throw your fat in it in the morning. Hey, the thing is, when you get enough fat into your diet, it helps satiate you rapidly. So when you're talking about people who are telling me that they're counting calories in their diet, it simply tells me that they really haven't understood nutrition yet. Because when you get enough fat into your diet and you're eating the proper amount of fat, you'll find out that you're easily satiated, so you can pretty much eat as much as you want because you will never eat more than you should.
You know what I found yesterday?
Doesn't it sound complicated? You'll never eat more than you should.
Here's what I found yesterday as a nice keto snack at the ballpark last night. I went and got me a stick of brie cheese. It's about yay long. It's on sale right now at Safeway for about $5.49. And then I bought me some nice peppered turkey, from the deli. And I took that brie cheese and I wrapped it up in the deli turkey. I'm telling you guys, it was simply fantastic.
It was simply fantastic.
Even my daughter, who's one of the pickiest eaters in the world, ate it and liked it.
Okay, so now here's what we're going to do next, you guys. We're going to mix up. You can actually either do salmon or tuna. If you would, Kyle, real quickly, put the bulletproof coffee recipe that we use. Put that in the stream there for everybody so they can see it. It's pretty basic.
Hey, I have an idea. I'll put the recipe in the comments.
Yeah, 4 cups of coffee, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2 tablespoons of unrefined coconut oil. Pop that into a blender. You guys, it is killer delicious. Absolutely awesome.
And it smells like coconut.
Yeah. And you would expect a little bit more of a sweet flavor perhaps with it because coconut oil does have a little bit of that essence in it, but it's actually not at all. It doesn't.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. This isn't about taste. You're gonna the one thing you notice about keto when you start it or trying to eat more keto style is like things taste differently after a while.
Yeah.
It is absolutely true.
And so and then believe it or not, when you roll past McDonald's or Burger King, the smell that emanates from those restaurants will actually make you sick to your stomach. I mean, it's really bad. And these are things that you'll notice. You'll notice spurts of energy, and you'll notice things that didn't taste good to you before actually taste better. Like something that I've been eating that I never really ate before getting on keto was blueberries. Mm-hmm. They really never interested me. But now that I've backed off all the fake sugar and all that stuff, I can taste the natural sugar in the blueberries, and they taste good again. So, a lot of the foods that we're eating, we're actually ruining our taste buds, I would think, and training them. I mean, like you take a bite of like a Cheeto, and it's like instantly, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is the best, but it's super bad for you. Yeah. And you can find other stuff that tastes just as good. I find myself right now craving more meat and more fruit. Those are the two things that my body is telling me that I want to eat. And so, with keto, I think you have to be careful with the fruit. But the meat, as long as...
But here's something to know. Fruit is a quality carb.
Right.
And when you're shooting for a given bracket, like you'll find out eventually, like I said, you'll stop counting the grams or the carbs altogether, period. But that fruit is a high quality carb. I'm going to tell you this right now. If your goal is, what's your daily carb goal right now?
I just haven't. I just know that I have to keep them low, and I don't set myself at. Listen. My target is to try to not go over 60, but I don't get anywhere close
Okay,
to that.
so people will tell you who are like keto diehards will tell you that don't go over 20 grams of carbs, and then if you're trying to maintain, don't go over 60. But let me tell you this right now: if those carbs are fruits and vegetables, you get to double the number.
Wow.
Right, and now look
Yes,
at
you get to double the number, and here's why: because 100 grams of blueberries will process like 50 grams of basic junk food that you're talking about.
And the other thing that you guys are doing when you do the keto that changes your body is you're knocking all the trans fat out. You're not eating the bad fats. You're eating the saturated fats, which are the good fats. And the
other thing a blueberry has that like the Keto doesn't have is it's chock full of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and everything else that's good for your body. So it has all the proper food in it, which a Keto doesn't have any food value.
I told you guys the other day that I was going to go home and make that mushroom dish. And I did go home and make that mushroom dish. And I posted on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page. And, they tell you to use 24 ounces of mushrooms. Mm-hmm. And, when I cook, I cook food all the time because I care for my mom and then I have kids. So I get up in the morning and I cook breakfast for my kids. Then I get my kids off to school, and then I wake up my mom and I get her breakfast going too. And I can't remember where I was going with that because we had a problem, a technical problem.
Yeah.
But I found and I'm thinking to myself, man, this is going to be way too many mushrooms. I was thinking about making a double batch, and I didn't. I just made one. I was like, because I can eat a lot of these things, right? I'm thinking that to myself. Go ahead and throw that picture up there, Kyle, because that was what the finished product looked like.
Hey, by the way, you can click the monitor back on over here, Kyle, because it is there is no overtaxing going on there.
Bam.
Yeah. So Kyle's going to throw a picture up of, I don't know if you want to throw all those pictures up or if you just want to throw up the finished product.
I don't think you should throw up though.
Yeah, no throwing up.
That's kind of disgusting.
But go ahead and throw up that picture right there because that is the best. This is what I ate. But I was thinking to myself that I wasn't going to be able that I was going to be able to eat. Between my mom and I, we would eat all 24 ounces of mushrooms, and that was not the case. No, I mean, I was, you saw some raspberries on the plate there, but I was able to I was able to finish all of the mushrooms that were on my plate, which is that right there. That's and then I threw the raspberries on there. Getting through all of those and eating all of these, Kevin, was almost impossible. I mean, we had leftover mushrooms for 2 other meals. So
not surprised. Yeah, you get your fat content where it should be, and yet your body just self-regulates.
Yeah, I think that we should actually make this sometime. It's got bacon and some fresh stuff in there as well, and some heavy
all
cream.
kinds of goodies.
Oh man, it was really, really good. And the sauce, the base sauce on this, you could use it for like something else, like pasta or something else. That's how good it was. So, but I'm excited about what we're going to make.
We're going to make for you guys here today. We're actually making it for us, but you guys get to follow the recipe at home. So you guys, you want to start with we're starting with 2 avocados, and we're actually going to put a half avocado on each of the plates that we have here. So let's start with that. And while I'm doing this, if you would, Chris, because we're going to take 8 ounces of either salmon or tuna. You can use either one. I like to go with tuna on this go around. So you have 8 ounces of tuna in there, and we're going to put 1 cup of sour cream in with tuna. So 8 ounces of tuna and 1 cup of sour cream are going to get mixed together in that bowl, and Chris is taking care of that as we speak.
By the way, Kevin, Kyle, and I will be opening up a by reservation keto lunch style restaurant where you call us and take.
You know that's probably going to happen one of these days, you guys. It's not. It's not so far off the.
You guys schedule with us a week in advance, and we'll take care. You come see us every day for lunch for a week, and we'll shed 10 pounds off you, and you'll be fed.
And you'll learn how to cook some absolutely amazing food.
Absolutely. No, I was just kidding, but it was a great idea, right?
It is.
It actually is a really good idea, Chris.
I got a pretty good one as well. We do that, except you call us and you feed us.
Okay, you guys, so I have a sliced avocado here.
That works too.
And I'm going to put a little bit of this. You can either do, when you're combining this, you can either do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice that you mix with your fish and your sour cream. Or you can use this, it's called tahini fruit seasoning.
Ooh,
it's got some chili peppers and some other fruit seasoning in it, but it has a very lemony kind of flavor. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this on top of the avocado.
The recipe is in the links down below.
And here, Kyle, I'm passing this to you to put on your plate. That's your half avocado.
Oh.
You only get half.
Oh, man.
And you notice a couple spots on the edge that I removed there. You'll sometimes get little dark spots on the avocado. It's actually not bad, but I just removed them just for, good housekeeping. But anyway, I've eaten them without actually removing any of the dark spots in there. So I'm putting a little fruit seasoning on here. This one for Chris.
Oh, hey.
It goes on your plate.
Oh,
and then,
hang on here a second.
I go hardcore on avocado. So
I have a feeling that I'm going to need a deeper pocket here.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I got the short end.
Shorts.
You're gonna put a nice big dollop of fish on that plate and eat these two together. All right, look at this. I got the Big Mac Daddy down here.
I had to make a bigger hole. He gave me the part of the avocado that just had a little bit in it. And
you said, "Hey, that's not me, man.
That's just not right." So
that's just not right.
So now we take some of this and we put it in the avocado. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Go right on top of the avocado with it.
There's no cheese, no nothing.
He's like,
hey,
Kyle, if you wanted to escape off that other side really quickly and grab some salt and pepper off the counter out there, that would be fantastic because we can do a little sprinkle seasoning over the top of this.
And when you come back, Kyle, your bowl will be ready for you to put on your avocado.
Yes.
And while he's doing that, I will do this and take a nice little drink of coffee.
Nice little drink of bulletproof coffee.
Coconut, tuna fish, and avocado. What?
He's like, what?
What just happened?
What do you mean, what just happened?
Everything just went nuts.
Oh, it's fine. I just turned on the screen.
Kyle's messing with us here.
Oh, pepper and
the tech guy strikes back.
All right.
Hey, that's not fair. Kevin got 2 avocados.
I got 2 avocados, yes. 2, you guys. Yes. I got 2 avocados. Good. You can actually put a lot more fish on there too. You can have as much on there as you would like.
No.
Now, you guys, you don't have to use the tahini fruit seasoning. You can use a lemon instead, and in that case, you just slice the baby in half and squeeze a couple tablespoons of lemon juice on there. So the recipe, again, from top to bottom, with what we're having here on the show today, is a half avocado. And then you have 8 ounces of salmon or tuna that we mix together, and we're splitting this up 3 different ways. 1 cup of sour cream, some salt and pepper to taste. If you would pass down the salt and pepper here for me.
I didn't put any salt on mine. I try to stay away from salt. I found that on some things I just don't need it. I mean,
sea salt actually doesn't hurt you in the least bit, and if you cut salt from your diet entirely, you'll start noticing you start having other problems.
Settle down. I didn't say entirely.
Like cognitive problems. When this Chris isn't thinking that right, I'm like, Chris.
Oh, I gotta catch up. Oh no,
Chris.
You're way behind there, Kyle. We're ready to dig in over here, and you're still. I don't know.
You're still goofing around. We don't know what the heck you're doing
crab,
over there.
I bet with crab is raw, really good.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I'm telling you, so. I had a couple of weekdays last week, where I was on the run and I wasn't able to fully.
You were on the run?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't able to completely stay in keto
Have they
last
found
week.
you? Yeah.
But when I weighed myself, I'm actually back down to where I was last year before everything that was bad
Oh
started
my
happening.
gosh, that's awesome.
So I'm back to where I was.
Can you pass the sour cream and fish over this way, somebody?
Oh yeah,
Anybody?
we have to share with him. I keep forgetting. I just
Yeah.
assumed that he was making it for us. And
Yeah, kinda, sorta. All right. So Karen mentions having this with
Yeah.
crab as well. You guys, you're right. You can do any number of fish and or seafood selections.
my
They are all
mind, you know, as soon as
fantastic.
she put that little crab thing up there, that crab emoji up there, I was like,
Your mind just kind of
she
went.
is absolutely right.
Yeah, you guys, you just
I
gotta be a
bet
little.
you it's
just
really
gotta be a
good
little
with
creative.
salmon too.
Yeah, it's delicious with
Karen also
salmon.
says congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Whoop.
I sit around, you know, before when I was younger, I'm one of those people that they should have medicated, you know, because I constantly move, right?
Can you pass the salt and pepper there?
Always shaking and moving and can't hold still because I'm not real super high energy. And I noticed that when you put more weight on, you don't have that high energy like that. And now
That's
I'm
coming back.
Right, yeah, I'm starting to come back. So like last night I'm sitting at baseball and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I got like an energy rush and I'm just like going, "Ee, ee." The people at the park probably thought I was on crack.
It's good. It's good. Chris isn't on the drum line in some high school right now because he'd be like the Energizer Bunny out in the middle of the football field. Like,
Yeah.
who's that guy walking past the goalpost down there beating on his drum? It's like, oh, that's just Chris. He just can't stop.
Right.
That's how you immediately get kicked off the drum line.
And I'm telling you guys, something else, you know, I've tried several different of the keto drinks and stuff like that. We have some hot cocoa here that we've tried. By the way, it tasted completely different the next day to me, you guys. It didn't taste like the top ramen or smelled like the top ramen the next day. It smelled normal, like chocolate. I don't know what it was up with that.
You probably made it correctly.
But anyway, if you guys,
That's
you know,
hilarious.
and I've done, you know, the regular ketone products that you've seen online and stuff like that. Ketones. But this coffee, these little packs of coffee that we've been getting are the ones that I found that actually work the best. I mean, when you take these things, you guys, the first times that you take them, you're not gonna feel good. You're gonna be like, "What's wrong?"
It kind of induces a little bit what they refer to as keto flu.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
get
so
that.
and so you feel like you're gonna, you almost feel like you're gonna throw up, and you think to yourself, "Man, this is just a terrible idea."
You're also
as soon as
hungry
you
as well.
drink that, go ahead and go to the kitchen and try to eat something because the appetite suppressant in whatever they put in this coffee is superior to the keto drinks that I've tried before. I mean, it just kills. At least for myself, it just totally
Your cravings
kills
and that
the
kind of
cravings
stuff
food.
just
They
gone.
just go away.
I made this keto recipe with my friends, and it's just 4 chicken breasts. There's 3 of us, you know, and including the father, so 4. And we can eat a lot of food. Now, me and Luke, because this is with Luke, who is my friend. Just want to point that out there.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
Your friend Luke.
Yeah, my friend Luke, believe it or not. But we're both on keto, so we made this keto chicken
Wait,
recipe.
you have friends?
I know, it's crazy.
He needs
Weird.
to be on keto. Look at him. He's like a rail.
Yeah. Kyle, you need to get on keto right away.
I don't know. But my friend Dave, he's not on keto, and he is a bean pole
Wait, he has
himself.
2 friends now. Holy
I
smokies.
know, it's crazy. Let me tell you something. I think I have like 5 more.
It's getting really weird.
I know. I don't think I'm feeling
How do you
well.
keep track?
I don't know. I just don't really say their names.
He can only count to 4, so I don't know how he thinks he's got 5.
I'm just
He's
taking a
like,
stab in the dark. I don't even know their names. I just say, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And they're like, "Good."
You're number 1 over again, because I only count to 4.
He's definitely number 1.
I'm a drummer. But the funny part is the beanpole, the guy with the metabolism and the huge appetite was like, "Oh man, I can eat like 2 of those. You sure that's enough?" He got through half of 1, and these chicken breasts were like tiny. And he got through half of 1, and he's like, "Okay."
I'm done.
I've
had it.
I still tell him about it, and he's still just, "Okay, please stop."
So just yesterday, a guy commented on YouTube on my keto chicken recipe, and he says, "Chicken breast is not keto approved. That meat is way too lean." I was like, "Did you look at the recipe?"
There's so much butter and
Do
heavy
you
cream.
do you see what the end product of this chicken
Yeah.
is? And here's the thing, you guys. My wife and I used to put 4 chicken breasts in a pan, bake them dry like that, put your seasonings and whatever, bake them dry like that, and we would both eat 2 chicken breasts along with our meal. So those 4 chicken breasts would disappear in one meal, just my wife and I, okay? So fast forward to today, we make that same meal. We now have 2 little girls in the house, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and the same 4 chicken breasts, and we all eat out of that pan, and there is another whole meal left when we're done.
I have to tell you guys, I was a real huge fan of chicken when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Having more of a problem with it nowadays. It has to be cooked the right way, and that would be the barbecue. And we aren't there yet. We're close. I mean, this weather. I mean, I could have dusted off the barbecue last night and been just fantastic. But no, I had to spend 3.5 hours at the ballpark. But anyway,
So hey, quick question: how do you like the avocado and the fish together?
Quick answer. Good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's nice and mild, isn't it? Like very mild. Here's one of the things that I really like about this is that sometimes, when people wake up in the morning, it's all God, guys. When you wake up in the morning, and we're already, hitting midday here, but when you're talking about the first meal of the day, sometimes people are looking for something that's a little bit more, not too spicy, not too, heavy as far as, the proteins and all these different things are concerned. Go with something that's a little easier to digest. And this avocado with the sour cream and this fish, as Karen mentioned, you can put crab with it. You can put a lot of different things with it. You guys, it's delicious. It's mild. It will not upset your stomach. It is a great first meal of the day to start out with.
Right.
And that's why we're calling it breakfast without eggs.
Right. And the other thing is, you guys, we're all adults here. We can eat whatever we want, when we want, how we want it. We don't have to have breakfast for breakfast and dinner for dinner. We can, you can mix and match.
Yeah,
There's no rule.
We eat
that
whatever
says
we
you have
want
to have
when we want.
breakfast foods.
You guys ready for another crazy story of mine?
Yes.
Does it involve more friends that you have?
Actually,
and is
yeah,
that friend in the room with us currently?
No.
Okay.
He might be watching. I don't know. But
He has some imaginary ones.
This is with my D&D group. I play D&D. I'm a nerd. Hello, nice to meet you. And I play D&D with my friends, and there's like 5 of us at a time. And one of them works at Domino's, but next door is the Hilltop Market. So we just go there, get the chicken and stuff like that. But
It's
man,
Chester's chicken too, by the way.
Yeah, but
I can't eat it anymore, but it is
I
good
can't
stuff,
eat it
dude.
anymore. I go there, we get chicken, because there's not a lot of other food to eat. So we get the chicken, come back, I get like 3 because I'm so used to eating like 3 of the little tiny chicken tender things. I take a bite, I'm like, okay, that's enough. I get through 1, and then it's like, okay, someone take the rest of it. I feel so sick for the rest of the day. The entire weekend for me is usually just a recovery phase of.
My absolute weakness on food, you guys, is Westport, Oregon. There's that middle minute mark there, where everybody stops. It's like the only one for like.
There's a Westport in Oregon too.
Yeah, Westport, Oregon.
Is that
Anyway,
next to Eastport?
It's on the way to Wana. Okay, it's on the way to the Wana mill.
It's just west of Eastport.
Do you want to stop at Westport for
right?
food then?
Yeah, you wanna. But anyway, yeah, you wanna. Yeah.
Is Wana very merry there? Is it merry?
Yeah, sure. But anyway,
Yeah.
so they make these JoJo's that are just super fantastic, and they're just. They're my weakness. But they're good if you eat them cold too. So they're cold.
You guys smell the fresh essence of grapefruit?
No,
Yeah,
not yet.
smell that,
The
Chris?
fan is usually coming this
Oh.
way.
You know how I was taught to eat those, Kevin?
I'm upwind. I can't smell
I
this.
was too taught growing up at my grandparents' house. Okay, so they would cut them in half, right? And my grandma would take sugar and put it all over the top of it.
Oh,
Right.
just
Now-
ruined it.
Hold on. No. Then my grandfather became diabetic, and then it went from sugar to the fake sugar.
Oh my gosh, even worse.
It was
Okay.
worse.
So the way we're doing this, you guys, because this actually aids in digestion. Grapefruit is actually super good for digestion, and it's one of the most fantastically high quality carbs you can eat, full of vitamin C and a bunch of other good stuff. So anyway, I'm actually peeling this like an orange. So I just took the knife and sliced around both directions. Peeling this like an orange because that's the way you should eat it. A lot of the goodness is actually in the in the skin, in the fiber that holds the fruit together. So don't cut this in half and eat it with a spoon, like spoon the fruit out. I'm guessing that's what they did. They sprinkled sugar over the top of it,
and just
they
ate it out
spooned
with
the fruit
spoon, yeah.
out, right?
Yeah,
They-
it was
they
actually
left all the
you know,
goodness
I actually
inside.
liked it though, you know, and you know, it was good for me. I liked it when I was little. It made me eat grapefruits.
Have you eaten a grapefruit peeled like an orange?
No, because you know they're bitter. He's gonna eat one of those.
Here you go,
So, Kevin, here's a little close-up of
Kyle.
what you're doing.
Grapefruit
I just got a close-up of what you're doing there.
I'm not even through the avocado yet, you
peeled,
guys.
Smells
peeled
so
like an
good.
orange, you guys. That's grapefruit, not orange.
Here, let me, there you go. Now you can show the world.
Yeah, show the world. It is peeled like an orange,
Nice.
and it is delicious.
I'm a slow eater. When we go out to eat, I'm always the last one.
And here, this whole time, Chris, I just thought you were slow.
Oh no. Oh no, it's dripping on me. Oh no. The keyboard. The grapefruit strikes back.
Yeah. Now, don't try to peel the skin off of it. That whole bitter taste.
Oh no, I thought
have
it
you
was
had? Have you had like raw vitamin C, like
I
gotten
just
like
take
unsweetened?
tablets.
Okay, you know how tart and bitter it is.
Yeah.
Bingo.
No, I wasn't trying
That's
to
the
peel
goodness
the
in
skin.
there, you guys. You don't want to take it off.
Kevin, I read something last night, and I think that we should do this. Did you know that people can make their own sauerkraut?
Yeah.
And that sauerkraut is very healthy for you?
My wife comes from a German
Yeah.
family and makes sauerkraut all the time.
I was really disappointed because I got clickbaited last night online.
Oh, get right.
I hated it. I hate clickbait. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and the title reads, "Recipe for fermenting your own sauerkraut." I'm like going, heck yeah, you know, because I like sauerkraut. I like it on hot dogs. I like Reuben sandwiches. I like sauerkraut any way I can get it. And I was like going, oh yeah, I totally want to do this. So I click on the article, and it's 3 pages of nothing but why it's good for you. And of course, no recipe.
And you're like,
I'm in the
Hi.
comments. I'm digging into the comments, and I am not the only one who is just not happy that we spent all this time going over all 3 pages of learning why it's good for us, and we're thinking that we're going to get to the last page and the recipe will be there. No. So I think we should do that. I think we should. It takes from what I understand, it's about a month-long process, and I think it would be fun to do a video on how to show people how to make their own.
yeah.
I'm struggling over here.
It's okay.
He's sitting over there picking his fruit apart.
It's
and-
already apart. There's the little chunks missing, so it's dripping everywhere.
But you see this? I only gave you 2 slices. I had 5. I got
Wow.
2. I got 2 left, and you eat it like this.
Oh, and by the way, Junior, if you're watching, I have an idea. You got to get a hold of me. We want to play in the kitchen.
I also have an idea.
I want
You
to
gonna play in the kitchen?
Yeah, I want to design it a keto taco. Some kind of keto thing. Not that he can sell it there. I just want to show that it can be done.
Okay, so I want to share a couple of points for our viewers, and this is not medical advice, and I'm not a doctor.
But he does play one on TV.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Did you ever play a doctor?
Once, yeah. But anyway, there's what I wanted to mention is that see, there's a lot of doctors and physicians that are giving advice to people about keto diets.
Wow.
And I have yet to meet one who knows anything about a keto diet. So here's one of the things that they'll say. If you're diabetic, type 1 or type 2, if you're diabetic, don't try ketosis. You guys, wrong.
Oh, hey, by the way, my mom's diabetic, and she's cut down all of her insulin except for like her morning medication.
That really doesn't make sense to me.
What will
because-
happen is if you go on a ketogenic diet and you're diabetic, is that before long, you will not be diabetic.
Now, of course, work your way into it. Don't go
Work your
cold
way into it,
turkey.
yes, yes.
Yeah, monitor your blood sugar.
You never do anything. You never do anything like doing this heart, cold stop and just go on to But you'll find that you'll need less and less insulin if you're insulin dependent, if you're taking medications, and in fact, it's the people taking medication that can benefit the most from a keto diet, and yet doctors will say if you're taking medication for diabetes, don't do keto. You guys, that's completely crap. And then they'll say if you have high blood pressure, don't, if you're taking medication for high blood pressure, you have high blood pressure, don't do ketosis. Don't do a keto diet. You know what, you guys? Your blood pressure will go down, your cholesterol will go down. Every markable improvement in your blood will improve by getting on a keto diet. So that's completely wrong. One of the things that they'll say is that if you're breastfeeding, you know, for women that are breastfeeding, don't do a keto diet because this could be bad for your baby. Again, BS. Complete. Yeah, that puts you out, Kyle. Yeah, no, complete BS. But you know what's really funny is they'll say, you know, that there's plenty of health benefits from a ketogenic lifestyle and ketogenic diet, but it's still very controversial. Well, let me explain to you why it's controversial. Because most of the people talking about keto diets are actually not practicing keto diets.
Wow.
And don't know anything about keto diets. And there's still, you know what, probably the biggest piece of false information as it pertains to eating a high fat. I have almost even refrained from using the word keto because people get all tangled up in that idea about fat and they start thinking right away that it's a diet that consists of either no or almost non-existent carbs. And you guys, if you don't know the difference between high quality carbs and low quality carbs, then you will screw yourself out of all the actual food. I'm talking about vitamins and minerals you need from your fruits and vegetables. You cannot tell me that however many carbohydrates that a strawberry has, that carbohydrate should be gauged and judged on the same scale as carbohydrates that you would find in your little Jolly Rancher sucker down at the store.
Wait, so I can't get fruit servings from Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
Well, this is news to me. This is
Or
why
like
I
a
watch this
Twinkie,
show.
or like Cheetos, or any of those. So if you said, well, I'm only doing 20 carbs or 40 carbs, and that is all junk food, you guys, you're still killing yourself. Double that to 80 carbs and make it all fruits and vegetables, and you'll feel absolutely amazing.
What about blueberry Pop-Tart?
Doesn't count.
What if you just eat the center of the Pop-Tart? The blueberry
Still
part?
doesn't count.
What happens if you just lick the icing off?
These
You have
guys-
to get
these
the
guys are
sprinkles
asking
first.
rhetorical questions.
No, but I will have to agree with the doctors about, you know, people with diabetes who take medication shouldn't do keto. They're right, because your blood sugar will drop so rapidly that it's very dangerous.
And they'll have to take you off all the medications they have you
Yeah.
on, and that's just terrible.
So
Yeah,
we
and
don't
you
want
can't
that.
be can't be taking away that funding source from Big Pharma.
So
that's dangerous.
Okay,
to do that
so
kind of stuff.
okay, you guys, I'm right at that borderline. My doctor told me a few months ago.
You're borderline
That
diabetic.
I'm borderline diabetic. I don't have to take insulin or anything like that. Mine can go away with exercise and proper diet. But they have me on all kinds of pills, and they have all the stuff that I'm reading is just scaring the crap out of me. Like, I don't want to take them anymore, but I have to. I just don't trust the pharmaceutical companies. And
And you
know,
shouldn't.
some of these things that I'm taking, I'm reading online. And no, it's not fake news that I'm reading, you guys. You know, I don't necessarily 100% agree with anti-vaxxers, but they do have some points that are important. But you know, I can't remember what I was saying. I lost it. It's another thing that happens when you get old. You forget things. Which your diet will help with that too, by the way.
So the concerns with being borderline diabetic, you should go in and have the same test done now.
Well, I'm gonna wait until like a couple more months.
But I'm saying have it done again later in the year. And then one of the things, you remember Larry Byman, who was on the show with us a while back?
yes.
He was going in periodically to have his triglycerides and like all the different blood tests and blood screenings done, and all it did was steadily improve. He is in remarkable good health, and at a stage in life in which you'd go, man, if you have all these health complications, the chances of getting better are like slim and none. That's what people would say.
Wow.
And yet, in 18 months' time, he became about 15, 20 years younger, mentally and even physically, as a result of changing his diet to a keto diet and detoxing, getting the toxins out of his system.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. A guy who a year and a half ago would get lost driving in town, couldn't find his way, had all kinds of brain fog going on, all kinds of issues and health challenges and everything else, and felt really, really sorry for him because he was super smart, articulate guy, that I knew years prior. And it's awesome to see him get all of that back.
For people who are looking at keto and they're like, I don't want to lose weight, I don't really need to go on this keto diet. There's also a lot of other reasons to go on the keto diet, also for your health. So like
your brain needs it, your liver needs it, your kidneys need it, your digestive system needs it, your skin needs it, your hair needs it.
And also it helps with the symptoms of autoimmune.
Yes.
And also, like what Kevin's talking about, brain fog will go away. But the thing about carbs, right? When you're putting food in your stomach, you're putting fuel into your body. Carbs, they're the quick burnout. Fat, they're slow burnout that lasts and is stable. So you don't have to
Very nice,
eat and you're
energy,
like, yeah, so you don't have this like sudden, I got to do stuff, and then you're crashing. No, just stable, life's great, you can depend on it, and you're just go, 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 go. It's nice.
And you never, once you've been doing it long enough, you get to this point where you're no longer a slave of your stomach. Like you can eat pretty much when you want to. I have my meal times at a given time of day now, and it's basically one meal, and for a couple hours. Now, so this is the one meal that I'm having for the day, and following that, for the next few hours, I will mix in things like the good quality carbs, some fruits, some vegetables, probably have a mix of a fruit and a veggie smoothie in there sometime this afternoon, but I mix in a lot of the good quality carbs into my afternoon, then following my noon meal. But I no longer eat what would be a traditional American supper or dinner, and I don't eat breakfast anymore. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, here's how I go. I usually eat we ate early today because it's Wednesday and we're on the show. But
you might be 2 years before you get to where I'm at in my diet, only because I can tell you it took me at least that long.
Yeah.
But you will get there. I mean, like it's going to be like really strange, but I guarantee you 2 years down the road, Chris is going to be eating one main meal a day and having his other quality foods in there in the afternoon.
That's pretty much what I'm doing now, except for I'm at two meals. Like yesterday,
And you should leave it. You should leave it there until all of a sudden you start realizing you no longer want that evening meal. Let your body tell you that, but you'll get there at a point when which your body will just basically gone, I don't want.
My stomach will, after a couple of hours of eating my first meal, I don't get hunger pains, but I can tell that my body does want some energy. So that's when I will eat like some cheese or some, like I went and got some, like beef jerky is pretty good stuff. Meat sticks, things like that. Last night, we like I said, we spent 3 hours at the ballpark, so I went and got some turkey ham and some brie cheese and just threw it all together, and it was fantastic. But I didn't have to eat very much of it to satisfy myself. I just had to have a couple pieces and then then I had like 4 little pieces of fruit, cut up fruit. So, and I find myself snacking every couple of hours versus actually having a meal. So, and then like I said, I'm cooking food for so many people in my house. I cook, 2 breakfasts, one for the kids, then one for my mom, and then I come home and I make myself something, and then I have to make my mom. I mean, it's just, I do a lot of cooking. As a caregiver, you do a lot of care. So. Yep.
So as you can tell, there's a lot of ways you can do keto. I know people on the keto boards on Reddit, a lot of them track macros. I think that's what it's called. But they track every single thing they put in their body, carbohydrates, every single thing, vitamins, literally to the letter. It's
when you're
crazy.
When you're learning to do that, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It is.
I did it for
when you start to become in tune to what's actually good food and what's not, and you can just ditch that entirely. You really can, and just start eating the quantity of food that your body tells you to eat.
Yeah, and it's really hard, because running to the baseball field and being out of the kitchen. Last year part of the problem was all the stress that we had going on, all the problems that we had. Plus, not being at home, being out at baseball practices and stuff like that, you don't get your kitchen time. So this year is going to be a little different. The kids can eat what they want, but I'll be doing stuff like what I did last night, and I have no interest. when my kids say, let's go eat at McDonald's, I have absolutely no interest whatsoever to go there. I just don't, it just doesn't sound good. You know, if I'm going to have a burger, I'm going to go somewhere like Carl's or
Wendy's. Wendy's is pretty good.
You can also get a good. You can also get a good burger at Wendy's if you need to stop somewhere for fast food. I recommend going to Wendy's in that case, and you could order the Dave's Double or one of the burgers, and unless I had some reason for needing carbs, but I pretty much don't. I'll just order the Dave's Double without the bun, and they give it to you in a lettuce wrap.
Yeah. This is what I like about Carl's Jr. is that if you guys, anybody who knows me and has followed me over the last 4 years knows that I have highly advocated for Carl's Jr. And now we finally have one, we have it. And so it was really exciting because they brought things that our area didn't have, like Beyond Meat burgers. So for the vegetarians and people like that don't want to, that want a burger but they don't want the meat, you can get just Beyond burgers at Carl's Jr. Plus, you can do the lettuce wrap burgers at Carl's Jr. too. And these guys have, you can go to Carl's Jr. and you can get the thick burger, and I'm telling you, they have good burgers, and then have them wrap it in lettuce. But when I go to Carl's, it's going to be on a cheat day so that I can fully enjoy my
Nothing
Carl's
wrong
Jr.
with that. That's what you should do. And explain the cheat day, because we've talked about it a lot here on the show.
So
but explain that.
This time last year, when I was doing this diet, and like I said, I'm down to where I was last year. To get down last year, I stayed completely on keto except for 1 day a week. This time around, I have a free day on Sunday. And I relax myself on Saturday as well because I will be running around. But on Saturday, I try to keep as close to keto as I can. Like if I get a burger, I'll throw halfway the bun or something like that. And I'm losing the weight just as fast. And like I said, I'm back down to where I was before. So now it's all gravy. My target weight is, and don't laugh, but for me, 300 pounds. And that's quite a drop. That's losing 100 pounds from starting. So I was at 405. I am now in the 360s. So
nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And it gets frustrating too, because when I do weigh myself, I don't do it every day because I don't want to beat myself up. But sometimes it can get frustrating because you weigh yourself at night and you're always heavier at night, and then you wake up in the morning and you go, all right, I'll be like 5 pounds lighter in the morning. And sometimes you are, and then sometimes you're not.
I probably have a slightly heavier than normal bone structure, but I've also been a very active person. When I mean active, I'm not talking about cardio and running circles and all that kind of good stuff. I have, for pretty much most of my life, believed in weight training, resistance training, to help maintain your physical fitness, and it will continue to make your lean body mass not only more toned, but it's amazing how much you can weigh and be fit. Because as an example, one of a friend that I have, that he and I are about the same height. We look out at approximately the same build. You can tell when you look at the both of us, like standing in a mirror near each other, that I'm a little thicker in the chest and the shoulders and whatnot than he is. But we're about the same height and built and everything else. He's 187 pounds. I'm 235.
Wow.
And there's a few times, just playfully, but there's a few times, that we've just, had a, playfully wrestling or whatever else, and he's come and grabbed a hold of me and tried to push me, and he's like, holy shit, you're like a tree. But, it's a really huge advantage, that I outweigh him by close to 50 pounds.
Wow.
But that's, you guys, that's what adding some weight training into your, you don't have to be doing it. You don't have to be a gym rat 6 days a week.
Yeah, I'm going to have some issues when I lose all of my weight, and it's going to be interesting.
Well, there's going to come a time real soon that I can help you with that. There's going to come a time real soon that you're going to want to add some low-level weight training into what you're doing. Here's the reason why, you guys. There's some real magic to adding resistance training, and I'm talking about weight lifting in particular into this, because when you do some high-intensity weight training. And you don't have to do this for hours and hours a week, but you add some high intensity weight training into this, and here's what will happen. You need to study mitochondria. These are your sugar stores in your muscles, okay? Now here's why these are important, because let's say you're eating some additional quality carbs. Do you know what happens in somebody who doesn't have a ton of mitochondria, and you're born with just by your genetics, you'll have a given number of mitochondria. But if you've ever run into somebody where you go, how can that guy run a 26-mile marathon and, basically, go roller skating with his friends afterwards? You're like, how the heck does he do that? By weight training and developing more and more mitochondria in the muscle. So here's what happens. If you do have an insulin response in your body, instead of insulin pushing that sugar molecule into a fat cell and storing it as stored fat, it will instead it fills the mitochondria cells first. If you have 2 times as much mitochondria in your muscles, a year from now, Chris, or like 2 years from now, if you have 2 times the number of mitochondria, you can increase the number of carbs you take in your diet without any weight gain, because it goes right to the muscle storage to be used for energy instead of into the fat cell to be stored, which completely changes things. So weight training will not only make you thicker, heavier, more solid, but yeah, you can get away with eating a lot more carbs than somebody who's not lean and weight training, because they lack the number of mitochondria that you have. So do a little research on that. Even put that as a note in the stream for anybody following us today. Research mitochondria, mitochondria, mitochondria. Research that and do a little study on what actually boosts development of mitochondria in the body, and you'll find out you get to eat more of those quality carbs and those quality foods, and without having any impact on weight gain at all. Your mitochondria will work for you. So
one thing that there's a meme that's like, man, I go to high school, I went to school, and the only thing I learned is that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's the only thing that stuck with me. Throughout the entire elementary school, middle school, and high school, the only thing that stuck with them is mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Out of every single else, that's the only thing. It's so funny. If you ask any high schooler, it's just mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
You wonder, so it's really simple. It's kind of like this. I mean, the analogy that I've thought of a few times, because somebody shared it with me in this fashion. But think of somebody who has 30 sheds on their property back behind the tree line. How much can they put away in these sheds before without you noticing any junk being around the property?
Probably 30 sheds full.
Yeah, probably about 30 sheds full. Wow. What about the guy who has 30 sheds full of stuff and only has 2 sheds? It's pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And in the human body, when you don't have enough sheds, which are the mitochondria, your body immediately stores it into a fat cell, and you start to put on all kinds of weight. And the size of what you have just continues to increase. But if you had all these sheds in your muscle, which you can do by weight training, there's a little bit of science we'll have to get into down the road. But if you do a little bit of weight training and help boost the mitochondria production in your muscles, you now have more sheds to stuff that stored sugar into, and it'll use it as energy instead of storing it in the fat cells and capturing a fat cell in the body.
You'll just shed off all that weight.
Shed it, yes. That was good, Kyle.
Thank you. Oh man, what a good show. Avocados.
Avocado, yes. All right, one of the foods. It's great that it's in this recipe that we shared today. One of the foods that you should be consuming pretty much every day. Well, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast here on Northwest Digital News. I hope you learned a few little tips and tricks to help make your life healthier and better. I just want to share this as we close here today. There's a lot of different things that we set out to do with Northwest Digital News when. You remember October 8th, 2017, Chris, when we decided, you know what, we're done with these other local activities, and we're going to launch something that we can evolve into something much bigger and beyond the scope of just somebody thinking about what's going on today on their street in front of their house. And what Northwest Digital News has become, you guys, you see this in our intros, you see this in our outros. If you follow the show on a regular basis, we talk about food here now on every Wednesday. We've had various guests from around the country talking to us about food and about good ways to make yourself healthier. Every Thursday comes around Jody Summers with Health Kindness. She's just an amazing nutritionist out of Northern California, rather. She'll be joining us again tomorrow. The Real Estate Show, if you want to know about buying and selling houses, you join us with the Real Estate Savvy with Susan Wood. Fridays, Carolyn Deacon has the Rich Hot Free Entrepreneur. Great show for men and women alike. All kinds of great tips on how to become better as a person and better as a professional. We go around to Monday, Dave Ford, Adam Walschlager, Tracy Ford on the Business Forum show. Such rock star good content, you guys. Dave's been #1 profit producing coach for quite some time with Action Coach Global here in the United States. Guy just is a genius and a unending amount of great information. Anybody who's in business should be following the Business Forum show here on Mondays with Dave and Adam and Tracy.
Now, I don't want to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt.
Go ahead.
The Business Forum show on Mondays with Dave and Tracy and Adam. I learned so much just from them that I implement in my life, and it's changed so much in my life. And it's not even like it's business related, but you can implement so much of that stuff into your life, and life's great. It's really good. This info I get, and my life's turned around. Life just seems up. It's great.
Yeah, and you know what? To that point, a lot of success in business has everything to do with your personal life and your personal character. And those learning lessons that are being shared on the Business Forum show are all around the individual and the mindset of the individual. And the reason why that's business focused is simply that when you have a business and there's a lot of other people relying on you and whatnot, you don't want to be making fatal errors in what you're doing, because it doesn't just cost you and your own family, but it costs a lot of other people. It's part of the reason why, as a business owner, your mindset is absolutely critical, not just to your success, but to those around you. Really important why that's a focus. But Kyle's dead on the money. Everything that you learn on the Business Forum show, you should be implementing in your own life. And even if you're a Susie homemaker, you'll find all kinds of stuff in there on how to be a better mom. Or if you're involved in volunteer things in the community, you'll figure out how to make your organizations and your role in that organization better. A whole ton of stuff. And we haven't even talked about Tech Tuesdays on Tuesday with Harry Brailsford, the #1 name in technology, you guys, from SMB Nation, is here every Tuesday with us. Harry Brailsford comes to us from all around the country. Guy's just a traveling machine. And then,
what a guy.
Of course, we haven't mentioned Darren Fredrickson and the Master Surveillance Mindset. From personal safety to understanding crime and understanding what we need to do as a nation to make sure that people are safe and secure and all that kind of good stuff.
We were just talking about Las Vegas yesterday, and then like the week beforehand, we're talking about the border.
Yeah.
Guy gets around.
We got some breaking news now on the Castle Rock thing.
All right, so a little update on Castle Rock here to close out the show. What is it, Chris?
Apparently the Russians are involved now, and it's serious business.
Oh my gosh. Are they colluding?
No, the situation is going on, but the comments are starting to get hilarious because nobody knows what's going on. I guess there hasn't been a very good statement of what's happening. I don't know. I can't go look. I'm just monitoring this, but the comments are pretty good. So somebody goes, it's the Russians. So, but anyway, it's still going on, you guys. Whatever's going on in Castle Rock, it is still happening. So stay out of that area.
It is still alive and unwell. All right. That's going to be a wrap here on Northwest Digital News. I'm Kevin Hunter, Chris Bornstead, and Kyle Torgeson. Thanks for joining us.
This concludes today's live programming on Northwest Digital News. Thanks for joining us for this special broadcast. Heard around the world in more than 70 countries on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and Twitch TV. If you enjoyed a story or guest we had here on Northwest Digital News and would like to strut your stuff on the broadcast, email us today at wainfo2017@gmail.com or call or text 360-545-3501. We're always interested in unique stories, topics, and guests to share with our worldwide audience. Before you go, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and comment on the live stream. And for those of you who'd like to financially support the broadcast, you can do so at patreon.com/Northwest Digital News. We thank you for your patronage. On behalf of Chris Bornstead, Kyle Torgeson, Stephanie Hunter, and all the people that made this broadcast possible, I'm Kevin Hunter. Till next time, take care.